Minuputong ka na psychologist, no? Kaya makasal kasi siya.
Message nila, hopefully she gets it. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Today is December 28, 2018. It's a Friday. I'm Jobert Okal, the online editor at the Freeman, and this is the Freeman Conversations. We're going to have a very interesting discussion today. But before that, we're going to give you a few updates on Usman PH. According to DOST Pag-asa, Usman has moved erratically and is now almost stationary. And he is expected to enter or to make landfall in over Eastern Samar tonight. So we'd like to encourage our followers and viewers, if you haven't yet, please go to somewhere safe. Safety first, guys. Okay, so one of the biggest stories that hit the headlines the end of 2018 this month is, of course, the story of a boy, a student of the Manila University, whose video, bullying video, went viral and generated a lot of both negative, mostly negative response, some positive, but mostly negative response from netizens. And I'd like to put it out there right away. This is certainly not the first time that bullying happened in schools.
No.
Yeah.
Many of us, a certain extent, experienced getting bullied. Now that we know that this is actually bullying, but we never made a big fuss out of it during our time. But this one generated a lot of fuss and attention because it was magnified because of social media. So if you haven't, if you don't know about the topic yet, maybe you would want to look into the stories for the past few weeks. But today we'll be talking about bullying, particularly bullying in schools. And we have today in the Freeman Conversations two guests. One is a father and the other one is a mother. Our first guest is the school head of Green Garden Christian School in Lapu-Lapu City in Mactan, Cebu, Bernie Labria.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us, Bernie. And the other one is an entrepreneur and trainer and a father of two, Rendon Heralizo.
Thank you for having me
Guys,
here.
thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
In advance, Happy New Year. Okay, what are your thoughts? Were you surprised that something like this came out? This is not the first time, certainly. As I said earlier.
Definitely not the first time, but surprised in the sense that this so-and-so kid is a champ in Taekwondo in this particular sport. So that's it.
Why did that surprise you?
Because come again,
Why were you surprised?
in the sense that of course we know that if you are a Taekwondo player, especially you're a champ, it's such a taboo thing. The only thing that you can do that is during games and sports.
So in other words, those who are in Taekwondo have the discipline not to just punch anyone.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Discipline should be there in that.
Okay, but beyond that, beyond him being a Taekwondo champion, did this surprise you?
Somehow, because it has leveled up. Like for example, punching repeatedly, and then he has been doing this for quite a long time. Surprised in the sense that this has not been thought of. Like for example, the school. But I would have to ask what happened to the school. What are the interventions that they do?
If the school even knew that this was happening.
Yes.
Okay, Brandon.
I'm not surprised that bullying existed in the school because I myself am a victim of bullying. Was a victim of the bullying. I've also been a bully, so I'm not surprised. But I was surprised in the fact that this bullying gets too physical.
Okay.
Yeah, it becomes too physical because the bullying that I know of in school is like
Teasing,
name calling,
teasing, okay.
but it's not that physical.
Okay.
And we see that after, well, at the end of that one viral video, we saw that the victim, the boy, had an injury on his nose. So I was surprised on that aspect.
Okay. If you want to take part in the conversation, I'd like to encourage you to post your comments and even questions and join us as we discuss this very controversial topic. During our time when I was in elementary, high school, we practically belonged to the same generation. I did not know that this was something that we consider bullying, teasing, calling names. It seemed like it was just for fun. For me, at least. So,
the teasing part especially.
Yes, but this time it's different because we now have social media and everyone, as we all know, everyone on social media seems to have an opinion on everything. And did you not get the sense that it was going out of hand when people were commenting, because I'm pretty sure not all of them really knew the whole story. By the way, the student was already dismissed, has been dismissed from the Ateneo just 2 days before Christmas Day on Sunday.
December.
Yeah, last Sunday.
So yeah, that's it. But a lot of people are already reacting to why it's just dismissal. It should be, the kid should be expelled. They
Okay.
should go through expulsion and some sort.
Do you agree? As a school administrator, do you agree? What are your thoughts on the punishment, the decision of the school?
Yeah, the dismissal, between dismissal or expulsion, I mean, without certain act, it has been done for quite a long time, so I could say that it's certainly right.
Okay,
The expulsion, I think, should be given to him.
expulsion. Brenda, do you think the punishment was fair?
It's dismissal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
dismissal.
If that's the policy of the school, then I think I'll go for it. Every school or every institution has their own set of policies, and then if this falls under that offense that merits that sanction, then yeah, I think that's fair.
Mhm.
I think it would be a little unfair for the kid to be given expulsion,
Okay.
because what I understand is when you are given that sanction, expulsion, then you can enroll yourself to any universities in the Philippines or any school in the Philippines, may it be private or public.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's too harsh if that will be given as a sanction to this boy.
Definitely, perhaps it was understandable that much attention was given to the case, not
Yeah.
only because this is something quite controversial. The act is something that's quite controversial, but it's a big institution that's involved.
Yeah.
It's Ateneo de Manila, and then we have social media where everyone has an opinion. But do you think the gravity of the kind of attention that this is getting is fair to the kid, both the bully and the one getting bullied?
What do you think?
Because they say that the kind of attention or the kind of response that netizens are giving to the issue is already bullying itself.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be given that much attention.
Yeah.
Well, it gets bloated and it gets sensationalized because of social media, but I don't think that deserves such, especially that we're talking about minors here, the bully and the one being bullied.
Okay.
And I agree to some statements when they say that you can't end the issue of bullying by becoming a bully yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our netizens are becoming bullies to the bully in this situation. So I don't think the reaction that some people are giving to this specific issue is fair, especially to the bully. I mean, I go with the statement that you can't end bullying by becoming a bully yourself.
Yeah.
It's so ironic that we talk about we don't support bullying, and then here we go on social media, we are cyberbullying the bully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because also they're not aware that is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Could be.
And
they don't know.
many of those who have been sharing the videos are adults. So I don't know what that tells us. What about?
Yes, it's quite too heavy on not only on the victim but on the side of the one who bullied. But
Yes.
sometimes I ask myself that how was he when he was a kid? Was he also bullied? And then like that, and then maybe I also ask, who were the people who had been with him in his developmental stage?
Okay.
So
Why do you ask that? Is it because of the concept that those who bully may have actually been bullied themselves in the past?
in the past? Because sometimes they mirror. Like when you look at, like, I've been teaching kids, so whenever I see kids punching other kid, I said, do you do this? Who has done this to you in the house? Or is there
Okay.
anybody? And sometimes the kid would say, my so and so punched me, and sometimes it's just a reflection of what has been done at home.
I see.
So something like that. So I said, if there are already two of them, so what really has been going on at home, and then the environment around them.
Okay.
Sorry.
But not necessarily, for me, it's not necessarily a thing that is being done to the person, but what the person observes and sees around him. Like for example, if
The environmental.
yeah, not necessarily you becoming a victim, but you might just have seen it somewhere and you find interest in doing the same thing and then you do it. Yeah, that could be.
Earlier you mentioned you have also been bullied in the past.
Yeah.
You were also a bully. I wonder if you can share some stories.
Well, my bullying is not that physical. When I was in high school, I went to a known university here in Cebu, but I graduated elementary from a school in the province. That's the very far province in Dalaget. And you know how people sound in Dalaget? They seem to have like a tone language.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was in this university, my classmates keep on teasing me with that tone that we had from Dalaget. And it gets to the point where it gets so irritating that every time that's the only thing that I hear from my classmates until such time that I couldn't take it anymore, so I had to report the bully to our guidance counselor.
So you were teased a lot because of the way you spoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same
And
thing.
like I was the prom D. Yeah, that's the term before they used of me. And so I had to report the person who always did that to me to our guidance counselor. And
Why?
that's true.
What effect did that have on you?
Because it did not make any sense at all. Like say for example, if my teacher called me for an oral recitation, for example, even before I say a word, they were already laughing because I'm prom D.
Okay.
And it doesn't make sense to me. Like why, in all instances, you always call me prom D, and it doesn't even fit to the situation in the first place.
Did that hurt you, or did that
It
make
did.
you angry?
At first, of course, it's very hurting.
Okay.
Because I don't see anyone in the classroom being bullied that way. I'm the only one labeled as prom D, and I felt different.
Okay.
That's the first effect.
You were exceptional.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah, they made it bad.
According to your classmates. Yeah. Okay.
But later I realized that I could be better than them even if I'm prom D. Like I could excel in class even if I'm prom D. And so I proved it to them that yeah, I'm a prom D person, but I could be better than you in academics.
Did your classmates eventually learn to accept your accent?
I don't know.
Or
Maybe
did
they
they-
did, or maybe
did
I
they
changed
teach
the
you?
accent over time.
Okay. We have our own coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Right? But we've seen a lot of this teasing going on in school, especially with kids. We get teased with our accent, with our skin color, with our preferences, sexual preferences. We get teased a lot. It's only
Even
now-
mispronounced words.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, what's your policy? You're a father now. You're a father of two. Your eldest is 6 years old, and the other one is still a baby.
Yeah.
But what's your policy, personal policy, as far as the situations are concerned? What do you tell your kids?
First, I don't label it as bullying. For my 6-year-old daughter, I think it's too early for her to understand the concept of bullying.
Okay.
So that's one. And second, we always encourage her to share her experiences in school with us, the parents. So at night, we always ask her, "What did you do in school today? How was school today?" And then that's when we learn the good things and not so good things in school.
Okay.
And if these not so good things are shared with us, well, we make sure that she understands what was happening. Let me share an example. There was one time when my daughter shared with us that she was inside the washroom and then she locked herself because and that's the girls' washroom.
Okay.
And then the boys, because she has classmates who are boys, so the boys followed her and they were trying to open the door.
Okay.
And then she was inside, but she locked the door. And then I asked my daughter.
The washroom is not common.
It's not. It's not. And then I asked my daughter, what did she do after that? And then she said she reported it to teacher.
Okay.
And then we reaffirmed her decision of reporting it to teacher. So we told her that's the right thing to do. And what did you do to the boys? And then she said, no, I just told them that that's not the right thing. They shouldn't force open the door because I was inside.
Yeah.
And for me, that was already an early sign of bullying. But we did not tell her, oh, you're being bullied. That's bullying. No, that's
Why do you think it's too early for her to be aware of what this is exactly?
Because kids get too curious. Like if I know that if I tell her, okay, that's bullying, or you're being bullied, or you shouldn't tolerate that because that's bullying. The next question would be, what is bullying?
Okay.
And the next question could be, what's the extent of bullying? When is it bullying? When is it not bullying? You know? And kids are so intelligent. Whatever you tell them, they absorb it and they can apply it even in their casual conversations with classmates. So I don't want him to get that concept of bullying in that early stage of her life. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I don't think kids of her age, like 6 years old, would go as far as the serious bullying that we've seen in Ateneo. So I don't think so.
Okay. What about you? What's your policy with your kid?
Yeah, first and foremost, of course, no bullying. That is zero tolerance in our school.
Okay.
So, but then the thing is, they do have different ways in, coping with other kids and their style in being good or close friends. It really depends on them. So, this is what we call punching and then hitting, and then after that, they are hugging at the same time. And I say which one there is really true, and are you really hugging or hiding something? So that is something that I really have to look into it, because kids are so good at keeping things these days. So and after the class, I can see kids crying already when all the kids and all her friends are already there going home. So I said that, what's going on? Can we talk? I always have to ask the teachers to talk, to spend time talking to these kids, especially those who are hurting. And not only those who are hurting, but we also have to make sure that you get to talk to those who are bullying, those kids who seem to be very aggressive.
Okay.
Because they are also problematic kids. They also have problems within themselves.
So this is a way of coping? Is that what you're saying?
Coping, for expressing themselves. But this is how we interfere. Like, this is how we say that, it's just so hard, but then this is how we should do things. We have to do it right. And then but many times I really have to talk to the parents. So I have to make sure that the homeschool relationship should be we have to strengthen this part so that there has to have an openness
between the school and the parents. Have you encountered cases of children actually expressing themselves physically in school because they have problems at home?
Yes, a lot. So there, of course, I don't have to really.
Yes, you don't have to go there.
Yes, a lot. Like, for example, there was really a time that I ended up talking to DSWD what I'm going to do, and all those.
What was the worst case you've encountered?
With a kid, worse this year, is that I was very shocked. Sexual abuse, so that's part there. So I was really, I really do not know what to do because it was really our first time. So I really have to talk to a doctor and then refer to DSWD what I'm going to do with this kid.
Okay.
So that's it.
So what was the response?
It's like this.
What was the action taken?
The parent side of that, they did not really, so sad. The mother did not really take side on the child, but
the victim?
Because she could not believe it. So I said that this is it. So the DSWD said that it has to be the mother because I'm just the third party. But they are monitoring the family.
The situation.
Okay.
But what about physical things like punching, kicking?
It's been, that's like punching, kicking, hitting.
These seem to be normal acts of kids, but how far can you be normal to a certain extent? From a school administrator's perspective?
Like, for example, this one, I have to make sure that, for example, holding the pencil, because they really like to get, like the using the edge. I said, no, do not do that, because you're gonna hit the eyes of your friends and all
Yeah.
that. So all this, like for example, punching, and then they're just doing this, and all of a sudden, his other hand is already at the face of the kids. So you know, they are just so tricky,
Yeah,
Yeah.
very wise.
Yeah.
Because during our time, I mean, that was fun.
true.
But we were not aware that we were actually hurting others. It was just in the spirit of fun.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line here?
Like for example, if this has been done repeatedly, so I really have to call the attention of the child. So
Okay.
I said, this is not good. This is not funny. It's not funny anymore.
Mm.
So I will have to let him, the child. This is the corporal punishment. It's not. But I always ask permission to the parents that I do it
Yeah.
because it's part. This is the school. This is we discipline kids.
Mm.
We mold the kids into better citizens. So I let them put in the corner. I just say, you talk to me. You have to talk about it. Why do you keep on pushing? So I'm sorry of that. It's just more on pushing, punching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Typical kid stuff.
Yes.
But do we have to wait for someone to cry, for example, for us to act on these teasing?
Of course, they are.
Kaya diba, when we were kids,
Yeah.
sa una, sige na panumbag, you mentioned you were also a bully before.
Yeah.
So, until muhilak na gani, di na to.
I think so. I think when it's still fun, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Like if you guys are enjoying it, like if the kids are enjoying it, like pushing, and then the other one pushes you too, then
Yeah.
that's fun.
Okay.
But when the other party cries foul,
Mm.
then I think that's the time that
You have
we
to
should
stop.
talk to the kid
Okay.
that it's not good anymore. And this is for that reason too that I don't teach my daughter the concept of bullying at the early age, because she might get so defensive that in most cases when it is supposedly play, then just because there is like kicking or punching, and she labels it as bullying, right?
Okay.
So this for that reason.
She might misinterpret.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of, because there are parents who actually encourage their kids to fight back. Your thoughts?
Fight back. Yeah. There
Yes.
was a time when it has
When
been there.
when you're pushed in school, push back.
Mm,
You
yeah.
shouldn't let
There are parents who
let
would do
others.
that because they would not, at least they're right, they would not let your parents do that down. They said, you have to do it, you know, an eye for an eye.
Yes,
tooth for a
yes.
tooth. And they said, no, we do not do that. So I have to make sure that the parents know the policy. But before they enroll their children or their kid to school, I always have to make sure that this has to be laid down, the policy in the school and all those, because we have this what we call contract. If the parent know everything, then they have to sign in.
Mm.
So that's it.
So they have to live up to the contract. Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, before we continue, we have a message from Marlene Odilao, watching in Pasay City, in AU 1 and 2. I hope you're not stranded at the airport. But, well, my assessment about it is psychologically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, and spiritually. These are quite mouthful of areas. This must undergo focus, attention, and treatment. It's about time the parents have 100% attention, more power.
Yeah.
Okay. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I
At
think
home.
Yeah, I think it's a wake up call for parents. When I watched when I saw the video, I think that's the first thing that came to mind. It's a wake up call for parents. I think we should be responsible as parents to really monitor the development of our kids
Okay.
at an early age in their developmental years. We should be with them, and we should let them feel that they're loved and they're accepted, because only then they realize how it is to love and accept other people.
Okay.
At a young age, we can teach them that by letting them feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that in this case, the case in Ateneo, the bully may have not felt accepted or loved in some ways,
Okay.
and maybe was looking for authority because he can't get it maybe at home, or he can't get the attention at home. Well, these are just assumptions, and that's the reason why he finds it in this acts like bullying.
Mm.
I agree to the reaction that it's really on the parents. It's the role of the parents to guide the kids, especially during the tender years.
Mm. Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah. And your kids are so blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Because you always find time to talk to them, to talk it out, what's going on, and then what else, what do you think?
Yeah.
So rare. It's such a rare thing. Because there are a lot of parents who have been very busy, even though they're at home, but they do online. And then
Okay.
everything and
Okay. So not much attention anymore
not much
given the
attention
kids. Okay.
anymore. So sometimes they said if you let it, sometimes they would have to end up with letting the kid play gadget
Yeah.
instead of listening to them. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
The personal interaction is no
Personal,
longer as
yeah, that's so true. Personal interaction. So I always say, one time, by the way, my daughter was also bullied. So there's also an openness among the family. I said, what happened? And then she mentioned something like, Mommy, I earned one time. I earned so hard in my being an honor student, not because I am the daughter of the school head. So, Mommy, they are so good to me when you're around, but the moment you're out, that's when they start talking to me. So, I did not go straight to the class. I called the attention of the teacher and then talked to the teacher. Please tell that this is already bullying and it's not good. I'm not going to interfere unless if it is already getting below the belt. So I have to make sure that the teacher is doing their work too.
Okay.
So after that, there was no more bullying. He said, how's school? So, Mommy, I think I'm very good. And then the teacher is already talking to them and we talk about this and that. So we just have to pay attention to every details. Maybe very small thing, small matter for us, but to the kids, it's just so big.
Okay. Dr. Cheryl Diaz-Muli was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately she got caught up in a meeting. But earlier she shared this information, actually publicly on her Facebook page, and this is a classification, 4 classifications of bullying. There are physical bullying, verbal bullying, social bullying, and cyberbullying. Physical bullying are those actions attacking another person by hitting, kicking, or pushing, right? Verbal bullying, calling people names, teasing or threatening, either by voice or using written words. Social bullying includes, excluding someone from a group and or spreading rumors about a person. And then cyberbullying, which is happening today, this is bullying that happens through interactive technologies such as cell phones, social networks, and other websites. We were not aware there were actually categories of bullying in the past, because this was just not discussed before.
No.
Why is this given much attention now? What do you think?
Because probably before I just learned this, I used to hear about bullying, but it never occurred to me that I was also once bullied. It was not emphasized. It just said that it's part of life, in life, this is the real world. The real world is cruel. You really have to deal with it.
Okay.
So I was also bullied, and I said, this is the real world. I really have to cope with it. It could be if I cannot make it, so I just have to be very silent until I get through it.
Okay.
So just now that it is being emphasized and then spelled out that bullying is like critical, it is physical, we are being punched or being gossiped, or you are being isolated, and finally the cyber bullying.
There is a point of contention here. We lived with our bullies before, and now they are our friends. What makes the kids special now? This is from Almario.
I think
it goes back to my question. Why is this given much attention these days?
I think it's given much attention. It's special now because we understand that there's too much violence around, and and we wanted to the society now wants to trace its root, like where did violence happen, where did it all start, and how we can stop it from where it started, and it starts from these young people, they get victims of violence, and these violence come in the form of bullying, the thing that we now term as bullying. No matter how petty it may seem for these young people, but they get too vulnerable. So that's where violence starts, and I think it really starts from the concern of the society right now to really end that violence thing, and we're trying to trace it until we find that even in the situations of young kids, there's violence through bullying. And to her point that our bullies before became our best friends, well, I only wish that the bullies of our kids now, they will also become their best friends, because I had bullies too in the past. Well, I was sharing about the high school experience.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are my friends now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe because after it happened, after a few years of proving to them that, yeah, I'm worth becoming your friend even if I'm a promdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wish that things will turn out to be the same. Like some of your bullies will become your best friends.
But with social media now, are you optimistic things are going to be the same?
I don't think so.
Because maybe in the past, since there was not much attention given by the public, many of these incidents were hidden behind the public eye, right? They're out of the public eye, but now it's very easy for some teasing, for example, to go viral, because all you have to do is take a picture or take a video and then post it. Yeah, and then everyone gets to comment on it.
Yes.
And many of those who comment on it don't even know the real situation or the story. So could this be the reason why people should be more aware now of what these actions are? Because it's very easy for these actions to go.
Yeah, and I think people should
be made public.
Should be more careful to listen to whose voices.
Okay.
Yeah, like in social media, for example, you hear a lot of comments and reactions from different people, and some of them are just noises, literally.
Yeah.
Noises. You don't have to listen to all of them. Just be careful. And honestly, I like the reaction of the parents of the bully.
Okay.
The reaction of the parents. They were talking about the dignity of the child, and they were even affirming the decision of the reaction of the child not to retaliate during in that video.
Okay.
I like their reaction, because for me that's their way of carefully choosing which voice to listen to. And they even decided to support their child and not to comment more on the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social media has definitely magnified certain issues, both in a good way and a bad way. For example, this one, we are made aware that this is actually happening in Ateneo, and I've read several posts about Ateneans who actually came out and said, I was also bullied in the past, but maybe the school did not do anything about it. But on the bad side, for example, attention was pretty much zeroed in on the bully, and the address of this family was posted online, and eventually they became victims of bullying themselves, the family, because food orders have been brought to the house, and they were made to pay for these food orders, for example, because of posting the address. So that's a bad thing, I think, because as you said earlier, we have become bullies ourselves.
Yeah.
My question is, what's your policy as far as social media use is concerned with your kids?
My daughter is 6, and my wife asked me one time if we allow her to have her own Facebook page. And I told her straight away that no, she's too young for it.
Okay.
And I don't think, not until the time that she understands the value of having a Facebook page of her own, that's the time maybe that I'll support her.
Okay.
But my policy is, as long as she can bear with it, that she doesn't have social media access, then let it be.
Okay.
Right now, the only thing that she has access to is YouTube, and it's even.
But there are also many videos there.
But we are filtering it.
Okay.
There are filters in YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, that's true. Even YouTube Kids, for example. It's supposedly for kids, but you see some videos there that are not really good for kids.
There's much violence there.
Yeah. And even in these videos, for example, they could be a good source of bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, for example, a video, because there are many prank videos on YouTube, right? Does that constitute bullying?
True.
Because to a certain extent, the subjects of those pranks are now subjects of public attention and embarrassment. So where do we
Just
draw
for
the
that,
line there?
just for
Yeah, just
that.
for the laughs. Where do you learn? What's your policy in your school,
Here
for
in the
example?
school, like for example, this is what we call group chat. Yeah, we have this one. It's very useful in the sense that, like for example, like there are things that they can do at home, so they talk. So about it, but I have to make sure that.
But this is not
teacher
online. Group chat is not online.
This
Physical,
weekend,
physical. Okay.
within that's a social media, so they have
Okay,
to talk.
okay.
So sometimes I have to make sure that the teacher is with them,
Okay.
monitoring. So if there is no
okay,
teacher
okay,
with
okay.
them, so delete everything, no group chat.
Are your students allowed to use social media in school?
And school, no. We do not allow kids to bring their cell phone even. So the only thing that they can communicate is through the office. Then they'll have to call up their parents if they need something. And then there's this particular time that we are the one controlling it.
Okay.
And then we also turn off the Wi-Fi once in a while. So
Okay.
so that's it.
Maybe I understand why that is. So if you can explain to our viewers, what made you decide to come up with a policy?
With that policy, because there are things that cannot be controlled by us. Sometimes we said there was really a time when this internet thing was in. So I said, Teacher Bernie, she called up. I think my child is not listening because she is online. I said, where is she? So I found out that she went to the back. To the comfort room to do her personal thing, only to find out that she was doing it.
Okay.
So I said,
Okay.
okay, turn off. So where are your cell phones? Come on. And I'm going to confiscate the cell phone.
So at first you allowed it.
Because that's for a way of communicating with their parents if they need
okay.
something.
Yeah.
But then
Because
by
there's also an
and by,
argument now that technology is an integral part of teaching
it should
nowadays.
be,
Yeah.
But for me, I always believe in basic education. Since we are having this, we are offering this course, preschool and elementary. So I always believe in basic. Go back to the basic.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have not memorized this part with no technology again. Of course, I'm into technology, but the thing is, you have to use it in an appropriate time, but not during class time. So even the teachers, I always have to make sure turn off. I monitor
The Wi-Fi.
the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So the only
Okay.
time that we can turn it on when it is already like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. That's when they do research.
Okay.
But I have to monitor it, and I said, let me try to see later. So the parents know this part also.
I understand DepEd now has standing orders for schools to come up with anti-bullying policies.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
been about that, like 2013, but it's just, it has to be, I think, strengthened even more.
Okay. As far as Green Garden is concerned, do you have existing policies in place?
Yeah, we do have that. Like, for example, this is anti-bullying policy and child protection policy.
Okay.
How can we also protect the child from being bullied and for those who are bullied? So we have this committee, so like for the parent and one for the school. So we have to really work hand in hand. So because
I browsed up your notes earlier. Maybe you can share those notes with us and with our viewers.
anti-bullying, yeah. Our government is really has been really trying to, to make sure that our children are protected. But there are just things that cannot be controlled. So that's it. So yeah, in our school, I always have to make sure that the teachers will have to spend time.
What
with
is
them.
quality time exactly?
Quality time, like
How long do you have to spend?
like 30 minutes, and the kids are, most of the teachers are young, so they're
Okay.
also, they like to talk that there are things like things that can tickle them and all that. So I said that make them your good friends, your good vibes. So during
Okay.
recess time, break time, when we do lunch break, please give an extra time for these kids. Talk to them, and then in group, and after that, it's very effective because they become very good friends, very good vibes. So they talk anything under the sun.
So that also encourages openness among
Yeah.
kids and teachers.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Among your notes are the signs of bullying. Maybe you can share that with the people. What are the signs actually? What do we
The
have to look?
signs, like for
What do we have to look
example,
at?
like for example, if kids do not like to go to school, and then if they do not talk much about the school, and then it's really more on they are like more reserved. Like this kid used to be very talkative. What's happening? So that
So
is
behavioral change.
behavioral change.
Okay.
And then the routine has also changed, and then become very like very quiet. And then I always speak up because in the school I always let them talk. It was my experience. I mentioned a while ago that I was also bullied. That it took me 4 years
How
to
are you
come
bullied?
out.
How are you bullied?
It's just really more on the tone of
If it's not too sensitive, you don't have to share, but if
Yeah.
you can.
It's just
Go
really
ahead.
more on, it's pretty close to him. So it's just like the tone of the voice, so he's talking like 19 and all that. So I said, why I'm also like this? I better not talk, I better not answer the teacher.
Taga-asa man din ka dito.
Tagabuhol.
Okay, okay.
So, mauna sad na. So, the teacher one time laughed even when the class teased me, and I said, how can I also be, how can I be protected by her when she herself?
Involved in the teasing.
So now
Okay.
that I become a teacher, I have to make sure that, because I knew this part, I said, teacher, please be firm. Even though it's funny, do not laugh.
Sure.
Because it happened to me, do not laugh.
Okay.
So there are instances that are so loud. Like for example, teacher, why are you crying? Because they seem to laugh at me. Why they laugh at you? Not really, teacher, but I feel it that they're laughing at me. I said, okay, but you see, it's just a feeling. But that is also
Okay.
the time when I get to do. So here, dealing with the school, since I'm into like preschool and all that, so I have to make sure that it's zero bullying, no
Zero tolerance. Okay.
zero tolerance.
Mm.
So I have to make sure that we are delivering that kind of service.
Have you ever expelled anyone or suspended someone, a student,
Suspended
because of bullying?
because it has been repeatedly done.
Okay.
Like for example, I have said it, warning number 1, 2, 3. I have to talk to the parents. And
What did the
after that
student do,
one-
if I may ask?
Punch! And then even try to hit the teacher.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
what's going on?
That's alarming, yeah.
Yeah. So even hurt, and then after that one, trying to get the pen, and then trying to have a violent,
That's scary.
yes, that's trying to scare those who are trying to get in the way. So I have to really talk to that student. And after that one, he was suspended once, twice. The third time, the parent suggested or took the child away from the school and transferred him to another school.
Hopefully he's better off now there.
I do not know, because it was his gauge that if his child would do well, then it has something to do with the school
That was their argument.
argument.
Okay,
So
okay.
because they could not believe that their child was like that. So I
Okay.
just learned that. Sorry, we got worse. I said it has really something to do with the parenting, the style, the discipline, and all that.
Mm.
So
Because I don't think that it has exclusively, the fault will lie exclusively with the school. Because the child is only exposed to the school during the day, but during the night it's also with the parents and the family.
Yeah.
So,
that's the truth.
Yeah, I think the family has the bigger responsibility, not the school. And we're lucky because we're sending our daughter to a school where parents are really put into a strong engagement with the teachers. And my wife and I also make sure that we are engaged in terms of activities, and we want to see our daughter that we are fully engaged. So I don't believe that it should be the sole responsibility of the teachers. No, the responsibility should be on the parents at first,
primarily.
primarily.
Okay.
Primarily,
And the teachers are just there to support the parents. And in all aspects, even in academics, for example, I don't believe that it's the sole responsibility of the teacher.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be supported by the parents as well.
Okay.
I agree.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Because the teachers are just there to teach, to support. So they're already prior knowledge they already acquired
True.
at home.
Mhm.
But it's so sad sometimes that the parents would say, "You're paying this much, so you ought to give us this also much." There are expectations also.
Yeah, yeah.
So something that we, from the very start, we really have to have a orientation, parent orientation, expectation, then the school expectation. How are we going to work hand in hand
Okay.
for the kids' development? Because we are not really more on academics, but it's also more on values.
Okay. Which should be
Yeah.
maybe taught in this age. How old was the kid, by the way? The one who got suspended?
That time he was only 8 years old,
Wow.
and then he would say gutted languages that
Mm.
time, and then, "Oh, where did you get that?" And then after that, but when he was with me, he was just very, very sweet and very quiet.
Mm.
And then I said, "You're so sweet, but please tell me." And then he became very solid, and the moment that he is already with the other kids, it's when he started to punch, and then after that,
Mm.
so
He becomes aggressive.
very
with other
aggressive,
kids.
violent
Okay.
kids, and all that. So, but the parents would not accept that his kid is like that. So it's just
Okay.
maybe because of the school, and sometimes they say maybe
Because
because
maybe the parents can be defensive also.
Yeah.
very defensive. Mm.
Because they know that it has something to do with their parenting style, or
Yeah.
could be
Maybe a defense mechanism. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So little did I know that the children most likely would really tell what's really happening in the house.
Mm.
So to which the parents will also deny that no, it's not happening in the house.
Mm.
So
So the bigger question there is, where did the child get this
of course from the house.
influence or attitude? Yeah, because if it doesn't come from the house and it doesn't come from the school, if the school, of course, I'm sure the school is encouraging that behavior. Where did the child get that behavior? So that's a bigger question now. Yeah.
Yes, that's it from the people around basically.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your biggest lessons, or the lessons from the Ateneo case and what you've seen on social media? What do you think we should learn from this case?
For me, I think it should still be the responsibility of the parents. I have no one else to blame. Not the kids, not the teachers, not the school, but the parents. Because the moment these kids become conscious on this earth, the parents magandang na, di ba? And we are the source of their foundation, the early foundations, like the values they get it from their parents.
Mm.
They see it being put to life by their parents,
Mm.
so they learn it from their parents.
Children look at the parents as examples.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not a good excuse when parents nowadays say that we're so busy or we're caught up with a lot of things like work.
Mm.
I'm a busy father too,
Mm.
but I have time to read stories to my daughter.
Wow.
I have time to attend to all school activities with my daughter, because I know that that's an expression of love that I can give to my daughter. And for me personally, this may sound like a cliche, but the only way to end this violence in the world is love.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in all simple ways that I can assure my daughter that she is loved, then I'll do it in whatever ways I can.
Okay.
Because when she feels that she is loved, then it will be easier for her to love
Mm.
others. And when she loves others, then I don't think she can be a bully, or she will be bullied. She will still be bullied maybe,
Mm.
but she will not even think that this is bullying in the first place, because she's a loving person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Earlier you said she is not prepared to understand this concept now.
Yeah.
But when she grows a little bit older, perhaps when she reaches high school, do you think you will encourage her to fight back?
No way.
Okay.
No way. I think there are other outlets that she can do and get this thing escalated. And well, I have a good example of how I did it myself. I had the option to fight back when I was bullied, but what I chose to do was to report it to our guidance counselor. And I think that should be the right thing to do. If the end goal is to end violence or bullying, then fighting back is another form of bullying. So that's not the right way to go. You can't end bullying by being a bully.
Yeah, that's it.
Good point. Yeah. Bernie.
This is it. From this point of view of a parent, but being the second mother of these children in the school, so this.
How many kids do you have now?
Now I have 70. 70.
If it's very difficult to manage one or two kids, 70, okay. Go ahead.
70,
Biggest
going
lesson
on
from there,
100.
managing 70 kids.
Like you have so many preschool students. So this is really the lesson there is that we have to really strengthen on the side of the parents. We have to remind the parents that we have the biggest role here. I am just a second mother. We are the teachers are second parents. So this is it. We just have to work hand in hand, and then strengthen this what we call anti-bullying policy, and then at the same time the child protection policy. Not necessarily blaming the bullied ones, but also taking into consideration that what's also going on with these kids who have been bullying, because they too need our attention. They also have something to tell through their action.
The reason why I've been asking repeatedly if to a certain point you will encourage your kids to fight back is because there's also an argument that walay i-bully kung walay magpabully.
Yeah.
And in many other aspects.
That's it. I also mentioned a while ago that if you're not kaya, better quiet and remain silent.
Okay.
And I just said, I just happened to be in a church or building, so I have to hide there and then pray. That's the only thing that I can do in the church and the chapel.
Okay.
So when it's time already for us to go back to our classes, it's also when the time when I went out of the chapel.
Okay.
So that's the best thing for the bullied ones to go to be quiet. But sometimes, not really everybody is very too vocal of what's really going on. So they just have to keep it to themselves. So that's it. So as a teacher now, I am handling a school. I really have to make sure that all students are protected, not harmed. Even we also have this what we call a talk with the parents, and then I also talk with the guardians.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the kids are all well. Sometimes I check to see what's going on with you, what's going on, why is it that you have bruises, we did this. And sometimes the parents will say, she got it from school. She said, no, she didn't get it from the school. I noticed that. So something like that. But I have to make sure that the child himself or herself would feel that he or she is valued, that she is really taken care of and very much protected in the school.
Very, very nice. Your thoughts, message to netizens. This case exploded online in many different proportions. What's your message to everyone on social media?
Going back to the role of parents, I think this goes out to all the parents out there. I think we have a great and very powerful responsibility to really guard and protect our kids from violence. And this violence may come in any form. And one form could be bullying. And our kids can become the bully or the one being bullied. But as parents, we have that responsibility to always guard them and protect them and guide them on the right course of actions to take whenever they are bullied. And if ever we get reports from people that our kids are becoming bullies, then we should also take actions to address that. I believe that it really starts from home. And there's no other place where love is cultivated but home. It should be at home.
It's very nice. A responsible use of social media begins at home.
True. So if I would be asked who's to blame, is it the bullied child or the bully? Because sa imo nang gisulti nga walay bully kung way magpabully, then I'd still go back to where it all started. It's from home. And the parents have the responsibility to stop bullying wherever it happens.
Bernie,
Yes, of course.
your message to netizens.
Of
our
course.
very emotional letter.
Very
Yeah.
It always goes back to home. It said, train up the child in the way he should go, so that when they become old, they will not depart from it. So is that the right training, the values that you are going to inculcate to your children, and then being the listeners and viewers, you ought not to add salt to injury. You ought to save faces also here. Because they're also hurting people, you know that. So we cannot just say words, or we cannot just react to heighten the situation. You have to protect both sides.
I think personally the biggest lesson all of us online should learn from this case and from other cases is that we should not react right away.
Yeah.
We should know the whole story as much as possible before giving our thoughts, because if we want informed decisions online, I think that's the right thing to do.
Sure.
And of course, the biggest lesson, another big lesson there is that we can always choose not to be violent.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Our guests today in the Freeman Conversations, the school head of Green Garden Christian School, Bernie Labria, thank you very much for joining us. And of course, Rendon Geraldizo, entrepreneur trainer, and both of them are parents. Rendon is a parent of 2 kids, and Bernie of 1, for now. Thank you very much both for being here, and to all of you joining us today, thank you very much, and to all our followers and friends who might be in the path of the typhoon, I hope you're all safe, and please, safety first. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Joe Bertotto, the online editor of the Freeman. Join us again next time, because as we always say here, every story is a conversation. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year to all.